Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the spring pickers. Let's also talk about the fact that I'm repeating my shirt yet again. Always trying to keep this channel as a nod to Phish, really, you know? So we're going to repeat some shirts. All right, okay, really, I'm just lazy. It was laying there. I threw it back on. I don't know. I haven't showered. Feels like weeks. So I'll tell you, a West Coast run really takes it out of you. Oh my God, how greasy is my hair? Speaking of greasy physique, I thought Fishman was greasy physique. Woo, man. Put this on your skillets right before you cook. All right, so let's get going here. Oh, before I get going, I wanted to mention yesterday in the spring recap of course, I just overlooked something on my own notes. I thought it was somewhat brilliant, speaking of repeats, somewhat brilliant that they snuck in all the repeats basically in that one show. I mean, they could have gotten through the 8 shows with no repeats. But really, if they wanted all 8 shows to be pretty strong shows, they probably are going to have to repeat some songs throughout. You know, some songs were going to get played twice. I thought it was very cool that they snuck them all into, I don't even know if snuck them all in. It was pretty obvious, really. They shoved them all into that one show. And there was the occasional repeat left over here and there in those remaining shows, I believe. We got 1 or 2. And then on repeat night, they also snuck a rift in there. Apparently, Jimmy Kimmel had to hear rift. And, you know, nothing has happened so far in 2025 that takes retirement off of the table. In fact, a bunch of their celebrity friends, a bunch of talkers showing up at the Hollywood Bowl show, you know, might have been their last visit to L.A. We just don't know, do we? So now let's get to the spring pickers. A lot of you were nice enough to play along and did pretty well. Although you're going to hear here, I'm just going to go through each night. But there's one name that just kind of keeps popping up here. And, you know, they're all still there. If anybody else wants to, and this isn't, trust me, it's not fun. Just go through the videos, look at all the comments, compare it to the set list. Really, it starts to be a lot of songs and words, you know. And I've never had a job where I'm like staring at a screen or anything like that. So it really felt like work to me trying to go through. And then the last night, of course, you guys left me like 80 comments. Thanks for that. The picks video, anyhow. Final night of Hollywood Bowl 3. So let's start all the way back at night 1 in Seattle, where Jacqueline and Daniel Dwyer. Now, I did this the best I can, you know. This was done by a human with failing vision when it comes to like looking at screens and smartphones. Probably need some glasses, guys. So Jacqueline and Daniel Dwyer both went 3 for 5. And Space Cowboy 42 nailed the sand opener. So those were our winners on night 1 in Seattle. We had 2 people went 3 for 5, which is not bad for opening night. Hit the sand opener, Space Cowboy 42. And then Seattle, night 2, you know, got a little weaker. Now, some of these I did throw up as YouTube shorts. And I feel like maybe not as many people saw those or just didn't feel like commenting or something. Because I did notice that the shorts got the least amount of engagement. So for night 2, Nico, you know, a former champion, Nico, I believe, won the Albany run. Or perhaps it was the New Year's Eve run. I don't remember. But Nico went 3 for 5 Seattle night 2. Now we're back to Portland here. Look, Daniel Dwyer showing up again early and often. 46 days opener Daniel nailed. But then Southern Solventless? Not real sure. I wrote the name down here. Southern Solventless. Having trouble with that name. I think I know that word, solventless, Southern Solventless. He hit 4 out of 5. F. Zappa 20 hit the Cities cover. After being told they were not going to play Cities in Seattle, I called it and they played it. So Daniel hit the opener. The Southern guy hit 4 out of 5 and I hit the cover. So Portland, we had some stuff going on. Now we move over to San Francisco, where San Francisco Pelkey hit the opener, a home show. Hometown boy, San Francisco Pelkey hit the Buried Alive opener in San Francisco night 1. F. Zappa 20 hit 4 out of 5 of his picks, and the Isle of Railroads also hit 4 out of 5. So then we move over to San Francisco night 2, where F. Zappa 20 hit 4 out of 5, including a first tube encore. Mr. Alveda also hit 2 out of 3. Then we move over to the Hollywood Bowl night 1. Where almost nobody did very well. American English Brent hit 2 out of 5, and that was it. The rest of us laid an egg. Hoboken, Hollywood Bowl Night 2. Spud hit the Runaway Gym opener. Nico makes another appearance, although this one, Nico, I gave you, we weren't really doing best bets, and Nico, I will say, you were making a lot of calls, man. You had multiple long shots, you had like 7 songs in your pick 5, bunch of covers. So Nico kind of made up his own rules, which is okay. I appreciate you playing along. Or she. I don't know what Nico is. What are you, Nico? And they picked a AC/DC bag as their lead pipe lock. He's like, I guarantee it. They said, write it down. They're playing AC/DC bag. So I figured that was worth a mention. But then what's really worth a mention, probably the call of the run. F Zappa 20, Taste Encore. Boom. Give me the money. So now we move over to Hollywood Bowl Night 3. There's no money involved. I'm going to award myself a whiteboard. Sean Cotto, F Zappa 20, William Cummings, DC Shred, Bathtub Jim, and Jake Williams all hit 3 out of 5 on the final night. Now, I will say, by this point, there were so many comments that final night. If you hit an opener, if you hit a cover or an encore, night 3, I apologize, but I was really running out of steam and I was just trying to focus on the pick 5. But as far as I could tell, at a glance, I did not see any openers, closers, encores, anything like that. It was just Sean, F Zappa, William, DC, Bathtub Jim, and Jake Williams. We all went 3 for 5. So yes, you heard a couple of names a couple of times, but you heard F Zappa 20 kind of sprinkled throughout. You know, I hit a cover, I hit 2 encores, I hit 8 out of 10 through a 2-show run. Yeah, and then I had an offer, but then luckily I had the offer when everybody had an offer. And then the following night, none of us were really sure what to do. The Hollywood Bowl Night 2, like I noticed, I didn't really write down anybody's picks. I think we all kind of stunk again. Although Spud did hit the opener, I hit the encore, Nico hit the bag. I would say that Daniel Dwyer also did very well. I know that Spud and Nico and also a few others played along every night. So that got you in the running. And my overall, these were my in order. I hit 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 0, 1, and 3. So if my math is correct, 2, 4, 6, 10, 14, 15, 18 out of 40. It's not great. A little over 2 a night. You know, what is that? 2.25 songs a night, I guess. I'm no mathematician. I think that might actually be right. 2.25 songs per night. I got right. You know, it's not great, but I think I was good enough to win. I hit 2 encores and I hit a cover. I just didn't see anybody else's name popping up as much as F Zappa 20. I got a gold medal over here. I was going to try to put, I think I put it away. I got out one of my old track and field gold medals and put it on myself. But also Daniel Dwyer was strong. He has showed up twice. Nico showed up twice. Was there anybody else that showed up twice on the list? I don't think, and nobody, once again, nobody hit a 5 for 5. I think the wedge was the demise of many, including Spud. Spud, I believe you called the wedge every single night. Just that'll get you. I'm there. It's like you call it a couple of times and you're like, I keep missing it. Well, certainly they're going to play it tonight. Never happened. Although you did get your gym opener. All right, well. And I think that's about it. Did I mention that I called that Taste Encore? I know some of you are like, bro, they played like 18 songs in the encore that night. Of course. All right, boom. Not going to play Cities in Seattle. Who told me they weren't going to play Cities in Seattle? Like I told you, man, I saw them play Rift one time in the second set. That didn't make sense either. We're out of here. Thank you to everybody that played along, and congratulations to F Zappa 20. The champion. It's about time I did good. You know, I don't think I've done good since they did that 7-show run at MSG several years ago. You'd think I would be better at this. Truth is, nobody's that good at it. I see you guys out there, not just my pickers. I see other people picking. You guys stink too. Boom. We're out of here. Did I cover everything? I think I covered everything, man. Spring, it's over. On to Cincinnati.